Hello friends, here Sambhai Deshmukh. Now in this session we cover thread synchronization. As we observed in a previous few session, multi-threading approach that perform in a Java. So here thread synchronization when it is necessary. The synchronization is used to solve the data consistency problem. It means what? Here we have number of threads in our program, and that particular number of threads is going to access one resource, and whenever they are going to access one resource, then there is a possibility to occur some problems. So that particular data that appear in front of us, that is not consistent. So here by using the synchronization we can able to solve the data consistency problem. Synchronization is the modifier applicable for methods and blocks. It means in Java, whenever we want to create any method, and that method should be preceded with a synchronized keyword, or we can create the block and that block is preceded with synchronized keyword, that we can able to create here in a Java. It means a synchronization keyword is allowed with methods and blocks. Synchronized keyword can't apply for classes and variables. The synchronized keyword we can't apply on classes and variables. It means we may have different classes, different types of classes, but that class should not be synchronized one. Or we may have like a static variable, non-static variable. It means as per the scope of that variables we can declare it, but that variable should not be a synchronized variable. The synchronized keyword in a Java create a block of code known as critical section. In our program we can able to create the critical section by using the synchronization or synchronized keyword. It means critical section means at a time only one thread can access the resource. It means the number of threads are there, and among that every thread want to access that particular property, single property at once concurrently. But here whenever they are going to access only one single resource, then the problem may occur, and that particular problem we can able to solve by using the synchronized keyword. And to that particular area or a block of code we can say as a critical section. So whenever we create a critical section, what happen? The critical section means at a time only one thread can access the resource. It means only multiple threads are there, but among that who get a lock, the lock may be a class lock or object lock. So whoever got a lock, that particular thread can able to access that critical section. After completing that thread's execution, then the thread is there in a queue, that thread is going to access. It means at a time only one thread can able to access that particular property. For example, Like you may see, the one person tried to read a record, or one thread that tried to read a record from a file while another is still writing to the same file. So because of this situation, what happened? Depending on the situation, we make a strange result. Which result that we may have? The reader may not have updated information or data, and that's why it produce an incorrect information. Java enables us to overcome this problem using a technique known as synchronized. From that, if suppose such a situation occurs, then from that situation we can able to come overthrough by using the synchronized keyword. Like for example, here suppose notepad. With the example, we are going to illustrate this. Suppose, like here we have an example. Suppose we create the 4 threads, like you can see here, thread T1, T2, T3, T4. It means you assume that there are 4 persons having the saving bank account, joint bank account. The 3 person can able to deposit the money. The 3 person can able to withdraw the money. So in this situation, what happened? Like you may observe, here I am going to use the synchronized keyword in front of this particular count method. Like first of all, we go through this particular program. Like in this program, first I am going to create the class that is a source. It means where our money is there. Okay. Then after in this, I create integer cash at a bank. How much the cash that I have, right? And default I am deposited 1800 rupees, and another variable that I create DE. Okay. Then after here I am going to use the synchronized keyword. Like you already observed, the methods and a block can able to use the synchronized keyword. So for this method, that is a count method, I provide what? Synchronized keyword. It means this count method proceed with a synchronized keyword. Okay. Synchronized public. If suppose you want to access it outside this particular class, then we can say as a treat as public access specifier. Then after int, it means this particular method should return some value that is of integer type. The name, valid identifier name of that particular method, and then after integer x, it means we passing one parameter. Okay. Then after system dot out dot println, only one line that I want to leave. Then after on the next line, I am going to show cash at bank. It means how much the cash that I have in my bank. Okay. Then after you can see cash at bank is a less than or equals to x. And what is an x? X is an parameter. X is an parameter. Okay. It means these 4 peoples or threads can withdraw the money. Okay. And whenever they want to withdraw the money, so that cash at bank should be less than the amount they withdraw. Okay. That is a x. Treat as a x. Okay. Then after here some formatting is there. I am going to write one line. Then if suppose this cash at bank is less than whatever the withdrawal money, that is a x, then it will show the message insufficient balance. Then again here if suppose that is there, then deposit D. Deposit, here this is a class. Okay, here I create one class, that is a deposit class. Okay, right. So here I create here the object of deposit class, new deposit. Okay, then after DE, it means this particular class is going to return the add amount. It means here we call the method that is add amount, that is there in a D. What is D? D is a deposit object, deposit class object, and whatever the value that return, that is a D, that is a deposited amount. Okay, then after here we can see the class deposit, right, public integer add amount. Okay, and suppose return 500, it means they are going to add the amount 500 rupees. You can collect the value from the user. Okay, then here after this I show the deposited amount on the screen. Cash at bank equals to cash at bank plus deposited amount. Whatever the money that we have in a bank account plus deposited amount, that is our now cash at bank. Okay, it means balance amount, right? So here I display this. Else, if suppose the withdrawal amount is lesser than cash at bank, then we are going to withdraw it. Cash at bank equals to cash at bank minus X. It means X is a withdrawal amount. Okay, and then after here we display the withdrawal amount, that is X, and now what is remaining cash at bank, that we show here. Then return cash at bank. Okay, so here we return this particular amount cash at bank. Then after here, as we already observed, deposit class, in that we have only one method, that is add method, and I am providing the 500 rupees whenever my balance is lower than the withdrawal amount. Then after class request. Okay, here we send the request, right? Request is a class name, and that is extend with a thread class. Okay, so request class threads are going to access the properties of source. Source is a class. It means we have only one resource, right? Only one resource, and that resource we access where? In a request class, and that request class extend with a thread. Integer balance that we want to show. Then after source equals to S equals to new source. Okay, it means here we create the object of source class, and here we create the thread, and that is created by using the run method. By using the run method, it means whenever we call the threads by using the run method only, we can able to create multiple threads. Okay, then after balance equals to S dot count. It means what is this? Here 500, it means withdrawal amount, and this withdrawal amount, right, that we send whenever we call the thread, that thread automatically withdraw 500 rupees. Okay, so here now saving account, the class name saving account, here the main method is there. The request object, request, who is the request? The request is a class that is extended with a thread class. Okay, we create the request object, new request. Here system print, bank account, these are the statement that display on a console. Okay, so here logically there is no need, only for reporting purpose we use this number of statements. Okay, then after, now you can see we create the threads, thread T1, T2, T3, T4, and we pass the object. It means now you may observe the 4 threads access only one object property. It means only one object property at a time. Then it may create a strange result, or it may create a problem. Right? This is a critical situation. So to avoid such a situation, and in this, now you can see TI start, T2 start, T3 start, T4 start. Whenever we call the start may automatically go to the run method which is there in a request class. And in that request class we access yes.count method, only one method. It means only one resource that we are going to access. But who access this resource? There are 4 threads. Then it may which threads is going to access first. So here it create the lock. Okay. So for this, what happened? To this count method, we create the synchronize. We create that count method as a synchronized one. And that's why what happened? Only one thread can able to access that particular property. Now see what is the result of from this. Okay. Now I am going to execute this program. Java C. Okay. Maximize this. Java C. Saving account dot Java. Now see. Okay. Java saving account. Now see here, these are the statement that we have in front of us. Okay. Say bank account. Okay, where it is written? It is written here. Okay, in the main method. Okay, system, 2 lines left, then bank account. Okay, then after here we draw 1 line. Yes, we have a line. Then after here we print opening balance, withdrawal, deposit and the remaining balance. Okay, after every transaction. Then after we draw the line and we call this number of, we create the threads, 4 threads of thread class, but we pass the object of request class. And in a request class what happened? In request class we have an run method. Okay, who create the multiple threads, who create the thread. Now we call T1 dot start. It means first thread object, second thread object, third thread object and fourth thread object. At a time, now we call this, but they are going to access only one resource, that is of yes.count. Right, and they all are going to withdraw 500 rupees. It means total now we should have a balance of 2000 rupees. Okay. Right now we are not think about the minimum balance, how much the minimum balance should be there in a bank account. Consider that now the minimum balance is a 0. Okay, that allowed by bank. Okay, so here each one withdraw 500 rupees, but our bank balance is a 1800 rupees. It means whoever is the last, they are not able to deposit that particular money. Then what happened? Right, then we should deposit that money and then after you can withdraw it. Okay, so here after this running this program, say our opening balance is 1800. The first thread that is going to withdraw the money 500 rupees. Now our balance is 1300 rupees. Again another thread is going to acquire 500 rupees. Now our balance is 800 rupees. Then after the third thread is going to acquire withdraw the 500 rupees. Now our balance is 300. Now the 300 that is a cash at bank is less than yes whatever the amount that we receive or withdrawal, and that's why here we display the message insufficient balance. Insufficient balance. And whenever the balance is insufficient, we call the deposit method, that is add amount, and here we add the amount, that is a 500 rupees. Now you can see deposit column, here you can see the 500 rupees. Now our balance is 800. Now the fourth one can able to access or withdraw the money, and that should be less than the cash at bank. Okay, so this all the things we can able to handle Why? Because of using the synchronize keyword. Now see how strange result. If suppose I am going to leave this, okay, now here I am going to remove the synchronize keyword. Now what happened and how the result look like? You can see here the result. Compile this program. After compilation, you may observe how it look like. Okay, so here it means how much the money that you withdraw, who is going to withdraw. Here there is a much inconsistency in a data. Okay, so here that's why here we can see it means they are we don't know at which particular transaction our amount is lower, right? So it may create a problems, right? So here you can't maintain the balance amount. So for such a situation we can use the synchronized one. Okay, for that we use the keyword synchronized. For the method every method or that method should be preceded with a synchronized, whatever the visibility level that you have, then after void or any other return data type and the method name, like this. Or for the block we can use a synchronized keyword, and here the parameter that you pass, that may be a this or whatever and number of statement that you may return in this particular block. So synchronized keyword that we can use with the method as well as with the block. Now because of synchronization, what happened? There is one disadvantage of a synchronization is to increase the waiting time. In a synchronization, what happened? If suppose one thread required 5 seconds, then the last thread required totally 20 seconds. It means that the last thread should be wait for 20 seconds. So here it increases the waiting time because of using of synchronization. It means only one thread can able to access that particular resource and other are in a queue. Synchronization reduce the concurrency 100% because of only one thread can able to acquire or access that property or resource. That's why it reduce the concurrency, right? It also affect a performance of the system because we are not going to perform it parallelly, simultaneously. Synchronization is necessary, then only use it. If suppose it is really very important to use the synchronization, such a situation 100% occur, then and then only you can use the synchronization in your program. Synchronized block consists of few lines of code. In a synchronized block, if suppose we have few lines, then only we can use the block, otherwise you can use the method. Thank you friends, thank you very much.